going on, everybody? Hope everybody doing all right. Hope you had a good week of trading. Hope you're gonna enjoy this long weekend. Um, and let's just not forget what Memorial Day is all about, right? Um, so this morning, I haven't been kind of slacking on doing some market analysis videos and whatnot. So I figured maybe I could knock one out real quick and just kind of do a brief look at the markets, and kind of see what I think is a good possibility, maybe get some feedback on what you think as well. So if we start out with the S&P out here on the daily chart and just kind of take a step back and look at what's been going on. We recently tagged all-time highs back at the beginning of the month here, and once we did that, we kind of had a pretty sharp sell-off right here, and I think that was we had an inflation scare or something like that for that right there, I believe. And as you can see, we had a little bounce and came back up here to test this moving average before coming back down and making a little double bottom and bouncing back up. So we cleared that moving average the second time, but we kind of just stalling out right around 4,200 here. As you can see, look at the price action. That's close enough. Right around that 4,200. It's pretty clear that that's a pretty thick zone. Like right there, there's a little resistance right in here. There's a lot of action, and now we're just kind of meandering right there around it. These daily candles, to me, they're not real indicative of a further bounce. I feel like we come back down here and test this 4160 area again before we make new highs. It's just kind of what it looks like to me. They're not showing. You would think that if we were gonna pop back up here and break this, we would be doing a little bit more, but we'll see what happens. That on the weekly chart, I don't know. Next week is going to be interesting for sure, because it can really go both ways right now. But I feel like like I said, I feel like we come back down here and we test this 4160 area, and then we go on up and we make new highs. I'm still bullish on the markets. I know there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on as far as the economy and in the world. There's just a lot of stuff. I feel like we've been in a pretty massive bull run for, gosh, a long time. I mean, for a long time we've been in a huge bull run, and so I think that there's a lot of stuff that it's gonna have to take a back seat eventually, and we're gonna have to get back to true price discovery. But I don't know if that's here yet or not. We'll see soon enough. So let's look at a couple sectors here. Uh, Semiconductors, they've been looking pretty good. They kind of had the same little double bottom here before bounce, and now we are working our way back up. I, right now would be perfect if we kind of consolidate sideways to slightly lower, and we allow this 20 daily moving average to catch up. And at that point, we'll find support right there at the cross, and we'll bounce on higher. So if anybody doesn't know SMH, that'll be semiconductors. Um, I like to usually look at all the X sectors, but I always include SMH as well because that's a pretty big. Uh, you, to have a good bull market, you're going to have semis going. So um, materials, they're still in a bull mode. They've just been consolidating as well. Uh, Looks like we could be. I don't know. Let's see. We're making lower highs. So it's going to be important. Looks like we're going to have some good resistance right there at about, what is that? What, the 88 level? Let's say just pick a good round number there. So 88, about 88 level. Looks like we're going to have some resistance there. We'll have to break that. Communications, if you look here on the daily chart, it's kind of putting in a little warning here that maybe we get a little pullback to this linear regression trend line, go revert back to the mean, so to speak. I wish that these moving averages were curled up a little bit better, but it is what it is. And XLC, you're going to be holding, I think Google's in there and Facebook's in there. So there's some big names in XLC that need to be watching. Energy's they have been doing pretty great. But right now we just kind of fell back and testing this support area. If we can't start breaking back up here, we're gonna go back and test 50, and we'll have to dive a little bit deeper down into the individual names and see. But financials have been they've been going really well. I actually made some trades on some financial sector stocks. We did some put credit spreads, and I think we ended up getting about 50% or so overnight realized profits. So that worked out really well. As you can see, we've been holding this 20 moving average and just kind of looks like we're coiling up. We got some action going on with this 20 serving as support, but we're sitting here and we're just coiling up here. So and with patterns, a lot of times patterns, if you see a pattern, it can really go either way. You just have to recognize that pattern and then allow yourself to trade once that pattern fulfills. So if you wanted to trade the XLF and you're watching this pattern and you see that this thing is coiling up for a move either up or down, then you're going to sit here and you're going to watch this thing bounce around here in this wedge. And if it breaks, then you can trade the breakout. A lot of times what will happen if it's a true bull breakout, it'll break and then it'll come back down here and it'll test that upper trend line again before going up. So that'll provide you with a better entry. So what you can do is you can monitor the breakout, and you can wait for the pullback and make sure that this is going to turn into support, and then you can trade the real breakout instead of it breaking out and you open it in a trade only for that breakout to fail. Okay, I know it requires a little bit more patience, but a lot of times it's better if you're just a little bit more patient. So industrials, it's kind of the same story with industrials. We're just kind of up here at the top, you know. We're gonna have to break out of this zone, one way or the other, obviously. But technology is not impressive, and that's kind of worrisome for a bull market, in my opinion, because you really want technology on board here. And as you can see, ever since the end of April, technology has been weak, very weak. And if you remember, on the S&P, we made all-time highs on May 7th. So over here, we're making all-time highs on the S&P, but technology is putting in another signal to go short. It doesn't look very strong right now at all. And that's one reason why I feel like we could see that 4160 level at least on the S&P, because XLK is just not confirming a strong move higher. Real estate looks like it could be ready for a little pullback too. There's one to watch. Utilities are looking pretty weak. It's trying to hold this 50, but it's not looking really good. Healthcare is the same story. You know, there's a lot of stuff is looking pretty weak. Like we're just not ready. We're not ready to make that last move up, and that's okay. We can trade either way, right? But you see, that's what I was talking about. We had the inflation scare, I think is what that was. I could be wrong. And we came right down here to the 50. Bounce up. 20 was resistance. Fell back down, tested the 50 again. We held it. Pushed back up right into this little zone here. And now we're just kind of meandering sideways. And looking at the sectors, it looks like we could come back down here. And where this served as resistance before, we'll try to turn it into support this time. I plan on, if we do come down here to the 4160 level, I do plan on opening some pretty bullish trades on S&P. I'm in a pretty big iron condor position right now on the S&P going into the middle of June. So I'm hoping that we can kind of get this pullback down into here, and I can exit that iron condor in this range and open up the bullish positions to move forward. There's a couple names that I think are important to watch and that I have positions in. I like Workhorse. If you look at the weekly chart, we've had a pretty big pretty big pullback in Workhorse, and I think that was whenever they didn't get awarded a contract or something like that is what happened. But we came down here right to the 200 on the weekly chart, and we're trying to consolidate a little bit. And I have some bullish positions on in Workhorse, and I mean we could. I don't think that 15 is out of the question, right? 15 is looking pretty good. One of the positions that I put on in Workhorse, I maybe should have went a little bit further out in time, but it is what it is. So we'll just have to see what happens there. Also, I like Plug. I wish that we would have had a more bullish close. Friday there was a lot of sell volume that you can see down here, and when we that 200 on the daily, it really served as some hard resistance. And if you look back here, let me put this price level up. And if you look back, if you go back, look at this zone that we just tagged right around the 30-31 level. Back here it was resistance. We broke out, we came back, turned it into support, sold off, support, double bottom, support, came back, resistance, and now we're right here again. So what could end up happening is that we just kind of meander sideways to slightly lower and let this moving average catch up. We go into earnings, we get an earnings report, and we pop out of it. So I have a bullish position on Plug as well. The weekly chart looks great. Weekly chart looks like it wants to go. So just gonna have to give it a little bit of time, I guess, and let her work herself out. But that's pretty much it. I don't want to keep anybody too long. If you have any requests, like if you want to talk about some charts, if you have any comments on what you think is going on, please let me know, because I'd like to hear it. Just looking at AMC, it's crazy. I played AMC, I don't know when it was. I think it was right here, wasn't it? No, it was further back than that. It was back here somewhere. One of the first pops it got, I played it, and I hadn't touched it since. I wish I would have caught this though. That would have been nice, but I haven't been watching it. So yeah. If you have any questions, if you want to chat about whatever pertaining to the markets, let me know, and we can go over it and see what's going on. So thank you, everybody, and happy trading.